Let's do some fairy dress up sewing together. Come on inside and join me. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jennifer Long from Sew a Story. I am an early years educator turned Riley Blake Designs fabric designer. This month in October in Sew a Story, we are releasing the Thimbelina fabric collection. So it's hitting shops this month in October, but we didn't want to wait until it was in the shop to really share about this amazing pattern. It is called Fairy Dreams Dress Up. This little girl here was one of our test sewers that made up the Fairy Dreams Dress Up and was permission. We used her in this pattern, the cover girl. So much fun. I also taught this pattern at Garden of Quilts, and we had just a wonderful time. This pattern has dress up wings that you can wear. It has a little dress up crown. It has a wand and it has a petal skirt. So all of these beautiful items are all inside this pattern. You can grab this pattern today, even before the fabric collection hits the shops. You can grab this pattern today inside the Sew a Story Pattern Club. It is patterned, the craft pattern inside the Pattern Club. Our quilt pattern is the Fairy Village quilt, and we are so excited about that as well. So you can grab the quilt pattern and this craft pattern all for less than the cost of a pattern plus. You get these videos, you get bonus downloads, you get a community, and so much more. So come on inside the Pattern Club and join us. This is the perfect month to make a dress up for your little one. It's October, but even if this is not October, I want to be a fairy every single month. I'm sure there's lots of little children that also want to be fairies all of the time. And so let's get started on sewing our little fairy costumes. Okay, a few little things. First of all, you can grab this pattern, like I said, in the Pattern Club. You can also download just the PDF version if you would like to. It's in the Sew Story shop, and there are so many fabulous shops that have ordered that pattern as well if you wanted a printed version. The bonus inside the Pattern Club at Sew a Story is the Fairy Wand action cards. So we are all about sewing for our children in the Pattern Club, but I also like to sprinkle a little things that you can do with your children to turn what I like to call those crafts or those sewing patterns into purposeful play. Purposeful play means something that you can help them inspire to play with. They can play with quilts and learn different things, color matching, all kinds of stuff that we give you downloads for. But also they can do amazing things with the craft sewing pattern too that you made for them. And here's different things to do. So wave your wand to grow a flower, it says right there. And you can see the fairies are, Thimbelina herself is on the back of them. Fly gently from one side of the room to the other. So these are just little prompts that you can use. Send kindness to a friend with your fairy wand. And there's pages and pages of them, you guys, all with Thumbelina illustrations. And Thumbelina is a sewing fairy. So I can't wait to see what you create with all of this. So what is exactly inside this pattern? You're going to learn how to make these wings. These wings actually also have quilting on the template, so you can even quilt them on your sewing machine. You can quilt them by hand, or you can opt to not quilt them. I'm using something called fabric, not fabric fuse, sorry. I'm using something called fusible fleece to fuse to the wings, which gives them some stability. And then also my secret sauce in there is something called Craft Extra Firm Stabilizer. It is so thin. Both those products are through ThermoWeb, and I love, love, love them so much. You can see how strong these are just with those two in there, but super thin and light. All right, so those are wings. We're also going to show you how to make these. Now, I want to just preface this by saying it's up to you if you decide to make the elastics that they come right on. If you do this, then I would highly suggest that they're supervised because, depending on the age of your child. Otherwise, you can just make ribbons and tie them around yourself and then release them afterwards as well. But just be aware of that for children and the age of your child. Then we have the crown. So the crown also has quilting in the hoop. What I did to the front here was take the Thimbelina felt panel. There's a couple of extra elements on there. There's actually a lot of elements on there, and I didn't use all of them for felt characters. And I just appliqued. Look at this. I just appliqued them on there. I also used something called sparkle paste, which is a product I designed with ThermoWeb to give all of these projects some little sparkle. So that is so fun. Then we have the fairy wand. You can use any of your favorite ribbons on here. This is actually just a little handle from a paintbrush, but you can use a little stick or anything else that you're finding. And then again, that is just using the right stabilizers to get your magic wand. And then, of course, we have the petal skirt. You're going to measure your little fairy's waist to make sure that it fits your fairy. And then you can make all these little petals, which all you need to do is really just sew them together. Cut 2 petals, sew them together, and turn them out. And then I'm going to show you how to add this elastic waistband to make an adorable petal skirt. When we were at Garden of Quilts, we did this. We actually got to go to the butterfly sanctuary and take pictures of our projects. But some of the grandmas and moms that were there sewing were talking about adding a few extra details, and I want to share, giving credit to those grandmas and moms that were sewing together. And this is what is so beautiful about a community together sharing. They were adding the same ribbons that they were going to add to the here. They were going to put them in between and have ribbons hanging down. How beautiful is that? What a great idea. One of the grandmas also added the same ribbons to the bottom of the wings here. So they really felt totally cohesive and so magical. And then one of the grandmas was talking about putting just a layer of tulle underneath as well, just to really give it some poop. So there are so many things to happen. I'm going to drop the camera down. We're going to sew a few things together. I'll give you some tips and tricks. And then if you really want to experience this whole project through the community, come on over and join us at the Sew a Story Pattern Club as well. Okay, let's get started.
All right, so today we're doing a very special dress up pattern. It is called Fairy Dreams Dress Up, and it has an adorable little petal skirt that you can use all the fun different fabrics. You can make it as colorful or as monotone as you want to make it. It's like fully lined. Each petal is just a template that you sew and turn, so it just looks like this, and that comes in the pattern with full instructions. Then we have a little fairy wand, so adorable. We're going to put a little wand in here, and they'll be able to cast little dreams and your wishes. The 2 projects I want to work on with you today is actually the quilting on the crown. So there's the Fairy Dreams Dress Up crown, and of course the Fairy Dreams wings. So these both, actually all 3 of these, have these 2 products in them right here. So they have fusible fleece to give them a little bit of body and depth, but also hold it very nice and strong. And then this is one of my favorite products to use for crafting with fabric. It's called Craft Extra Firm Fusible Interfacing, and it makes them look quite strong. They're not floppy at all. So we're gonna learn how to do this. We're gonna learn how to quilt it with this Fairy Dreams pattern, and then we'll put the elastic on it as well. This is the outside, and this is the side that will be against the child's body right here. Okay, so let's just start. I've taped the template together, This is the template that was used to make these, but it also has the template for quilting on it. So you can do a couple things. You can pin it in place. We're going to sew right over it and come back. But I'm going to use this product called Spray and Bond Basting Adhesive. So it's repositionable and it's a temporary bond and it eliminates pinning and it will not gum up the needles. So I'm just going to spray actually the back of this. And I will place it on here. Good. And look at that. It's quite stuck. So sorry, I was going to use this nice thread. This is an embroidery thread from embroidery machine, but I'm going to use it for sewing because I just want that kind of like heavy embroidery look basically on it. So I'm going to get my machine set up and I'm going to bring you down and we will work on this together. Now, of course, you can just like free motion this. You can do this however you want, but I know there's lots of people that say they're just not comfortable quilting or creating a design on their project after all of that. So you can follow this by hand, or I'm going to put this on as a triple stitch. I want to go in the needle down position so I can do lots of turning, and that's my trick. And just going to lower this. Okay, so I'm going to get this behind. And I'm just going to keep going here and we're going to follow all the way along. When it has something like this little piece in here, I'm going to follow it and I'm going to come back. So this is why I love my needle down. Let me cut this off here. I love my needle down so I can just keep turning as I need to on the front side of the stitch. All the way around. And you can do one of two things. You can follow it back, like you can turn all the way around and come back, which I think I'll do. But you could also just cut it there and then start again where you left off. I'm going to continue following it around. Once we get this whole thing quilted, we will have fun pulling the paper off and seeing how this looks together. So I'm going to come down here where I'm joining. I'm going in the wrong direction, but don't worry because I'm going to be in a needle down position and flip around and keep coming. On these straightaways, then I can take it a little bit faster. And still following along. It's actually quite relaxing. And you just have to feel like you can't, there's no right or wrong. And if you don't want to do this whimsical fairy pattern, you certainly don't have to. You also don't have to worry if you don't follow it exactly. I just went a little bit shy of it there. It's totally fine. My head's off to the side a little bit for this camera. But I'm also standing here, right? This is my filming desk and not my, or my filming desk and not my sewing table. All right, and I'm going to come back on here, rotate around. So yeah, you won't even know once you take the paper off. It's going to be so beautiful. I'm going to come back. just need to make some decisions about which way you're going. But if you don't want to do this type of pattern, that is completely fine. You could do like a crosshatch, you can do straight line quilting, and you really actually don't even need to quilt it, because you could just simply leave it with fusible. Like, you know, it's there already. That's, we have two pieces of fusible in there, a fusible fleece and a fusible craft interfacing. So we do have lots happening in there already, so you don't have to do this, but it certainly is quite fun. So I'm just going to continue on like this, and when I get closer to the end, then I will come back. But I just want you to reassure you that you don't have to follow exactly. This is just a guideline. Oh, I am going to stay with you for a minute to show you. Because this one is such a huge jump from the next one, I am going to actually cut this. I folded this over to manage it here. I'm going to come on over. If you can do free motion, which this class is not on, this video is not for free motion, but if you can do free motion, this would be even easier. So do what you feel comfortable. I just want to show you how you don't need a fancy machine or fancy anything to get this same kind of look happening here. Okay, I'm going to start back over here, and wherever I start again, I'm going to back stitch there. Alright, and then I'm going to come back over. And we'll keep sewing. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to show you just still no free motion, just doing a single stitch, but I'm just going to pull this in a bit. I have just turned it to a straight stitch, and I've reduced the stitch length, so we've got lots of chance to curve here, and it's even simpler. This is something if you're teaching maybe a teen or a pre-teen to sew and follow lines. I remember doing this in grade school or in middle school when I was learning to sew. I just loved it. And it was sort of like the first we did lessons, we had to follow like zigzag lines and curved lines. And it really makes you just aware of how to move fabric in your sewing machine as it's moving, and letting the feed dogs pull it. So around curves and everything. What I want to show you is that there is basically no wrong you can do here. I didn't follow everything quite exactly, and I'm sure it is going to be just beautiful. All right, we can just take a little peek. We're gonna just tear this paper off and reveal this adorable quilting. So I'll work on that, and I will happily show you this finished product. Look how fantastic it's turning out. And there we go, like that. And then we'll move right on to this crown. All right, so we have a crown, and if you wanted to keep doing the same thing, you could use the template there, or I'm going to show you another technique here too. So I'm going to use this orange thread that I have in here, And I'm going to first outline everything, and then we're going to do almost like, well, we'll just see. We could either do an echo or a cross hatch on there. So I have a single stitch happening, and I just want to give it some texture. We're going to add some sparkle paste as well, so it really has some fun. Oh yeah, super cute. All right, now the decision happens. Do we want to do lines across it like this? Do we want to echo it? Do I want to pull everything into the center here and try and be slightly artistic? What do you think we should do? We could follow that again, but I wanted to show you a different technique. So I think we'll just let's pull everything towards the center, shall we? We can do it. So we're aiming for this. We're kind of going to follow this curve. And we won't pass that seam. Good. And then we're going to go back to this corner. Okay, see how that looks? Cute. Now let's come in about an inch and do the same thing. So come in along that line. And let's do the same thing again, heading right for this point. Good. And then coming out for about this 1 inch point. So I'm just going to leave my finger here. And so we'll know where we're headed. Just have fun. Okay, and a little bit more, another inch, and we'll continue to do the same thing. Come on in to this point, all the way up. So we're going to start to overlap a little bit, which is just fine. See how important that needle down position is? We're using it so much. Okay, let's make sure we don't go over the strings. It feels very whimsical and childlike, which I love, 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 love. One more up. Okay, and then I'll back it up a bit. Look at that, it's great. Okay, let's move this back. I'm gonna cut this up at the back. So this is how it looks with white, and that's how it looks with orange. So either way is gorgeous. I love them both. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my sparkle paste and paintbrush, and let's just add a little bit of whimsy here. I'm going to take maybe even a flower that I have. You can really dress this up and be as creative as you wish to be. Okay, so here, this is the snow sparkle paste, and it's really just like iridescent. And when we paint over I'm just gonna follow some of these lines. I don't know if you can see that really, that shimmer or not, but it is so stunning. I'm using kind of a wider brush. I'm just gonna paint it down the center, almost like I'm giving it like a Christmas tree effect. So these are so easy to make. You really can just let your children be creative here. And add to this, we have sparkle stencils for Thimbelina if you would like to put a little fairy applique on here. Oh, we could use something from the felt panel possibly. Oh my goodness, that would be so adorable. Let's just see if I can find something. Okay, I just brought the felt panel here and I have this cute mushroom. So let me just cut it out because I feel like this would just be so adorable on here. And it's yet just another way to use the felt panel together. I'm just gonna cut it actually fairly close. Just like this. And then we can stitch it on. Oh my goodness. Yes, right? That's actually even sticking right now. So I'll just let that dry and then I'm gonna stitch that on. I don't know if that's a little bit too much. Can you have too much on a child's crown? I don't know. I don't think so. Let me get this little leaf out of here. We'll see. Maybe not that little leaf. I mean, there's so many great characters. You can put like the bumblebee on there. You could put any sewing. You could put Thimbelina on here. Oh my goodness, so many fun little things. Okay, I think I'm going to put this somewhere here. And we've got the crown, we have the skirt, and we have the wings. I'll pull the camera up and show you all together. Okay, look how cute this is looking. So I think I'm gonna put this little flower that I had here, this felt flower. Here is this, look at this adorable crown. I found a little butterfly to go there. And here are those wings. I just gotta catch all of these threads, but you can see how fantastic it looks. Now this is like a very busy print on this side, so I'm gonna flip it over and I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks super whimsical and it doesn't need to be like perfect. In fact, it's like, it has so much character with a child helping you or with just whatever you have at home for your sewing machine. I don't want you to feel like you need to have fancy tools or anything else to make something for your child. All right, so now what we're going to do on these wings, I'm just gonna move this over slightly, and this is we are going to add the elastics. So I have the pattern here and we're going to follow along here. You're going to put this wrong side up, and I have my 2 elastic lengths, which I have measured out already, and I'm going to butt them up together. And it says butt them up together and place them in the center. I would like my pin to do this, but anyways, I would love my pin. Right, found them. Okay, so we're gonna take these. I'm just gonna actually pin them together here a little bit. I'm gonna actually sew them together. It doesn't say to, but I would really like to do that just to give it a little extra support. I have a feeling that these are going to be well loved. So I'm using this fancy like lingerie or bathing suit elastic. And so it has one right side. So just make sure that if you're using an elastic like that, that you are using the right side out. Okay, I'm gonna put this on a zigzag stitch. And I'm just going to sew just across. It's just overlapped about 3/4 of an inch or less. And I'm going to reverse and cut. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Probably just 1/2 inch actually. Okay, after you've sewn these together here, like this, we'll just leave those aside. You take your 2 pieces of orange fabric for the elastic attachment and sew along the length. And then we're going to take this over to the iron and we're going to press it open. We're going to press a hem here, like a fold here and here. So it's sort of like a casing, and then you're going to do the same thing at the top and bottom, and we'll slide it in and attach it. I'll be right back after I press this. All right, so I have my 2 elastics and I have my casing pressed and folded on all the sides. And now I'm going to position it here. So this is the center. I'm going to line it up in the center, pin one side and the other side. And I'm going to position the elastic too right on top of that. So it's going to be coming right from the center. I've got the folded part of the elastic inside, and I am going to stitch right down there to secure it. I'm going to come back up and cut. All right, I'm going to repeat that on the other side. I'll show you how. So we'll flip this over. We're going to pull this around and over. And let me find my elastic and position it correctly. So I want the shiny side out, slide it in. We're going to tuck that in nicely. Oh my goodness, look how cute that is. Yay, yay, yay. And here, and I'm just going to sew on top of the whole thing now all the way around the perimeter a few times, and we've got these ready for imagination play. Depending on how much security you want, you can always create an X over top of it, just like you would do on like handles for a backpack, or you could go up and down a few more times. Whatever you do here, you're going to see on the front. So I think I'm going to do just another line partway through, right down the elastic. So it's very strong. They can fly high. And here, lots of imagination play. Perfect. And good. Gonna cut all these little strings off. And ta-da! Look at this. All right. Ready for a little butterfly to fly away. While I have you here, let's do a little bit of sparkle on here. And we are ready. We're ready for the magic of fairy dreams to begin. This would be a great spot for sparkle stencils. Just gonna add a little bit of shimmer. Good. And there we go. Here is our whole set. Yay!
Well, that is so exciting. I hope we see tons of little fairies running around all October and throughout the year. This would even make an amazing, dare I say, Christmas fairy. Oh my goodness. So, so cute. Valentine's fairy, Easter fairy, birthday fairy. Can you ever have enough fairies? So don't forget to grab your pattern. Come and join us. You can definitely grab some sparkle paste. You know you're going to need some to get this just shiny and fun. If you don't know how to use sparkle paste, I actually did a live on sparkle paste. You can find it on the YouTube channel. But basically, you paint it on however you like. You can use stencils, sparkle stencils as well, all through ThermoWeb and designed by yours truly, and you can place it down, let it dry for 30 minutes once you've painted it. Then you just put a pressing paper over top, heat set it with your iron, washable. How amazing is that? All right, so I really cannot wait to see all of these. If you post them on social media or in our Facebook group, please do make sure you tag myself at Sew a Story or Jennifer Long. I cannot wait to share and see all of them that are coming. And I really hope that you can join us inside the Sew a Story Pattern Club, where we have even more goodness to share with you. So thank you so much for being here. And until next time, I cannot wait to see what you create this month. See you again soon. Bye for now.